All right. It is Lambo's Border Sports featuring the Big Brother. Ladies and gentlemen, I my parlay was messed up. Anyways, and this one was worse than expected. I had a second chance to do another parlay so I don't lose, and I still picked Colorado because I believe in primetime Deion Sanders. Um, he was obviously right about Oregon. All right, I'm not mad about that. It's just the way they got whooped. It was like really embarrassed. The way they got whooped, it was 35-0 at halftime. Dan Lanning says we're not done yet. You know what I'm saying? We don't do this for clicks. I mean, I liked his motivation, and I liked it that he said it on audio around America. That's what I liked about it. All right. Oregon's a real deal. I already knew that. What I was surprised for was that defense. That defense was on lockdown against Colorado, only holding them to 6 points. That's what I was very impressed with. Please go ahead and explain what went wrong for Colorado and why Oregon is so good.
Yeah, well, what we knew before the game was that they were struggling to run the ball, and that yet again veered its ugly head. They cannot run the football. And they went up against a D-line that's actually loaded up with 4- and 5-star guys all across the board, and they got embarrassed. They couldn't get anything going. And what's been getting them out of these situations where you would want to mix in some run game is that Shador's been throwing like 375 a game, and that's just on average. Obviously, we know he threw for over 500 in week one. He threw for 160 yards. He wasn't super like inaccurate or anything, but they just couldn't get anything going. Got sacked 7 times. So that again shows that there's major holes in this offensive line, and that they can't create holes for the damn run game either. So just all across the trenches, they got demolished. That's on the opposite side as well. Oregon ran the ball for 240 yards. And, you know, what else was he trying to emphasize? The D-line. He said he needed to strengthen the O-line and D-line. And, you know, it just showed itself to be more true than ever that they needed some major help there because they got 240 put on them. And Bo Nix balled out. So shaky in the trenches. You want to be able to rely on your cornerbacks a little bit more. Obviously, Travis Hunter's not there, but he doesn't account for a 42-6 loss. You know, Bo Nix threw the ball 28 for 33, only 5 incompletions, 276 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He did throw an interception, but I mean, if you throw one pick in a blowout win like this, it doesn't really get talked about. So, you know, I had a feeling that I was going to be right. I did think that Oregon was going to win this game. But I thought they were going to at least cover a 21-point spread. Not even close, bro. Not even close. And I'm not done with Colorado. Like, I don't think that they're just dead in the water. I don't know if they're beating USC. I mean, I know you think that. And I know Scott here in the comments, Dion has already been public that he thinks they can beat USC. But, like, everybody is, you know, going to give Colorado their best shot. That's not a secret. Everybody's going to say something. Everybody's going to do something or whatever. And it's just up to them to battle the adversity, really. And like they did it against Colorado State, came out very flat this week. And I said it last week in the preview. I said the offense has been starting way too slow, and they cannot start slow next week because their defense is not going to be able to keep up with Oregon's offense. And they started slow. Obviously, they played the entire game slow. They only scored 6 points. But you know what I mean. They started slow. Oregon got on top and just didn't let up. And that's what I was scared was going to happen. It's what did happen. I'm not done on them. I'll stop my rant now. You can give some of your input.
No. I mean, you can speak. It's facts. I'm not even mad about it. I mean, I think I'm just very concerned when it came to. I felt like Colorado gave up because where was that same heart when Colorado was down the whole game against Colorado State, or when they were going back and forth against TCU? Where was that heart that Dion was talking about. I felt like they just gave up. Now, watching from, TikTok and the halftime speech they had, I feel like he said that some guys felt like they were quitting. Some of it is not for them. I felt like they were just quitting. So, not only that they were confident, which Dion says, if you, as a black man, not even as a black man, but just a person in general, if you're offended by our confidence, then you're insecure about yourself. If you're offended by somebody else's confidence. Now, as a coach, me being a coach and being a player, I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, we're gonna lose the Powhatan this Friday." Like, I'm not gonna sit here and have that losing mentality. Of course, as a coach and a player, we're gonna win every single game. Win, especially nobody believes that. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset that you have. So I'm not pissed off at the mindset. Oh, I'm thinking we're gonna beat them in USC. I mean, if you say you're gonna lose, you shouldn't be coaching.
Yeah.
But my point in this game is if Colorado fought hard. Now, I may be very critical about it. I'm not sure if they fought hard. Not that they didn't fight hard, but I just felt like they just gave up on me. I just felt like once they kept scoring and kept scoring, the body language of Shedeur Sanders, normally he doesn't have body language. His body language, he was just down. He was by himself. I think everybody was just quiet. Everybody was just shocked. Like, have y'all not watched Oregon? Have y'all not seen what Chip Kelly did with, Marcus Mariota back in there? Or before he was a Marcus maybe 1 year or so, but before he went to the NFL, did y'all not see what Oregon was capable of? Did you not see what Justin Herbert did at Oregon? Like, it's not a shocker what Oregon's done. It's the way they dominated in all three phases of the game, especially special teams. If y'all got fooled by a fake punt, Dan Lanning took the shots. He made it personal and made it known and said, we are tired of Colorado. Oregon is probably the slept team in the Pac-12 because we over here talking about Utah, Washington, and USC. Oregon is not even mentioned right now. We don't expect Oregon to even maybe win the Pac-12, maybe not, because Oregon struggles with Utah, Washington, Arizona State, maybe, USC. Those are teams they might lose to. But I think everybody got tired of this Colorado hype and whatnot. Like I said, I still believe in Colorado. I'm not going to shame them or none of that stuff. But I guess from Oregon's standpoint, they got tired of the whole Colorado hype and the social media stuff. And Oregon did what Oregon was supposed to do. If you're tired of all the talk, you use it on the field. You play football on the field. You play in grass. It's not Hollywood, which I like that. But like what Deion Sanders said, you better beat me now because it's the worst team we're going to be as a this year. This is the worst we're going to be right now. So you better go ahead and beat me now. So nothing against Dan Lanning. I like his passionate speech. But like I said, Colorado has a lot of work to do, especially that defense. I don't want to hear any excuses talking about Travis Hunter and all this other stuff. Like you said, Travis Hunter ain't going to be the reason they flipped the score by 35 points, especially if you could not stop the run. I mean, it was awful. And they went for it, I guess, on every fourth down. They went for it. They were aggressive. They went tempo the whole entire game. That defense has a lot of work it has to do. I'm still going to pick Colorado to beat USC in tomorrow's prediction, what we do. But like I said, this is Colorado's worst they're going to be. I'm wrong about them being undefeated. I'm saying it on national television, but I said it before. They're going to win at least 9 games. They're 3-1. They were only predicted to win 1 game, 2 games. They're 3-1. What can you complain about? So I think they'll bounce back in the film session. They'll get better. Like you said, they cannot start slow against USC. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just reemphasizing that last point you just said, if they start slow next week, it could get ugly as well. But the difference is I think Oregon's defense is much, much better than USC. I mean, we've gone on tangents about USC. I mean, they can't tackle in the open field. They allow yards like nobody else. Like and that's kind of been the theme of the Lincoln Riley led defenses. So I don't think it would get out of hand like this one did, but you're still playing against the best quarterback in college football. Not Shador's like top 5 guy as well, maybe top 3. So like, I don't want to shit on him or anything. I'm just saying you can't start slow when the leader for the Heisman race, back-to-back Heisman, you can't start slow against that guy. And they started slow this week against Bo Nix, who's like good, but he's not Caleb Williams.
He's better. He's better.
Yeah. What?
I'm saying he's better. Caleb Williams is better.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying the other way around. I was like, man.
No.
Yeah, you're
I would never do that. I would never do that. I would never do that.
You're good.
No.
Yeah, no, but really that's it. I mean, it's just you can't start slow against USC. And if they do, I don't think it'll be 42-6, but USC is going to get their points up, especially after how exposed we just saw this defense. Oh,
yes.
Thank you, Scott, for wishing me a happy birthday. Very nice of you.
Yes, I know. It has to be known in America because it'll be my partner for a long time. I think it'd be close to the Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp duo as well, but maybe a little more funnier. Next, by the way, I was right. We were both right about Florida State. Florida State fought hard. We thought Clemson had the game in the bag, but Clemson folded, and the suspected play calling on 3rd and 1 in overtime. You throw a screen. Did Ken Klubnik know what down it was? That he thought it was first down? Clemson falls to 2-2 for the first time since DJ Uiagalelei was a starter in 2021, when I think they lost to NC State and Georgia. So how do we feel about Clemson in the next episode? And Florida State is the real deal. They beat them for the first time since Jameis Winston and Jimbo Fisher were there. We will talk about that in the next episode because, like I said, I'm on the Florida State train. Clemson is down, as we will talk about.